Hardware wallets are hands down the safest way to store your cryptocurrency. Since the beginning of Bitcoin in 2009, and even more so now with the skyrocketing popularity of crypto, wallets have been targeted by scammers and thieves who want to get their hands on your hard-earned crypto. On top of that, crypto exchanges that hold your digital assets for you haven't been very trustworthy either, especially recently with the total collapse of platforms like Celsius and Voyager losing billions of their customers' assets from shady business practices. One of the best solutions we have to protect ourselves from all these bad actors are hardware wallets, also known as cold storage. There are so many hardware wallets to choose from, it's pretty overwhelming, and it's also important to do some research before you buy one, which is why I'm making this video, to give you my complete and honest opinion on the best hardware wallets on the market right now, as someone who has all of these devices, and help you get a feel for which one is right for you. We're going to run through each device in no particular order and talk about three things: usability, or how user-friendly it is; compatibility, or how many blockchains and software wallets it supports; and finally, price ability, because it rhymes with the first two. Hey, my name's Adam, and if you like crappy jokes, buttons are down there, you know what to do. Anyway, let's get right into the first pick. Coming in hot with the best bang for your buck is the Ledger Nano S Plus. This is a relatively new device by the largest hardware wallet manufacturer in the world and has become what I consider the gold standard for hardware wallets. It's actually an upgraded version of the now discontinued Ledger Nano S, hence the name S Plus. For usability, the setup is a little complicated, especially when you have to type things into the device. You know, there's only two buttons, but don't worry, I made an in-depth guide that will walk you through it step by step. So if you want to see what it looks like, the link will be up here and down below. It only works on the computer and Android phone, but not on your Apple iPhones. But once it's set up, it's pretty easy to use, so I'll give usability a 4 out of 5 stars. For compatibility, all of the Ledger devices work with the same blockchains and software wallets. And they all work with basically all the biggest blockchains and software wallets. Like when someone wants to build an integration with a hardware wallet, they pretty much always go straight to the ledgers first. It supports the most amount of blockchains and software wallets out of any hardware wallet out there. So for that reason, I'm giving compatibility a 5 out of 5 stars. For price, the S Plus is $80, which is tied with the cheapest on this list and one of the cheaper overall, so the price also gets a 5 out of 5 stars. So overall, a fantastic device and pretty much your bread and butter for hardware wallets. While we're talking about price, let's take a look at the other cheapest one on this list. The Trezor Model 1 has good bang for your buck, not quite as much as the Ledger Nano S Plus, so let's take a look at why. For usability, again, it only works on computers and Android phones, but not on your Apple iPhones. The setup is a little bit easier than Ledger's because you can do most of it on your computer, but you don't need to type in anything into the device itself if you don't want to. So pro tip, make sure that you number the words on your seed phrase wherever you have it. It will ask you for them in a random order, like the 22nd word, then the 10th word. So having them numbered will speed up the process. And once you have it set up, it's also very easy to use, so I'll give usability a slightly higher score at 4.5 out of 5 stars. Now for compatibility, the Trezor Model 1 suffers a bit compared to the Ledger, not supporting as many blockchains like Cardano, Solana, and Cosmos. But it still supports probably the second largest amount of blockchains and software wallets, the main ones being Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other ETH-based blockchains through its MetaMask integration. So while I generally recommend a Ledger for the best compatibility, there are some software wallets that only connect with Trezor hardware wallets. So make sure you're getting a device for the software wallet that you want to use. For that reason, I'm going to give the Trezor Model 1 a 4 out of 5 for compatibility. For price, like I mentioned, it's the same as the Ledger Nano S Plus at $80, making it the cheapest on this list. For that reason, it also gets a 5 out of 5 stars in price. Overall, this is a great device, but if you're looking to use a bunch of other blockchains, you might want to get the Ledger. There's an upgraded version called the Model T, which sounds like it should be a car, but it's not. That supports a couple more networks, but costs $220, which is a pretty big chunk of change for not much more functionality. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. The next hardware wallet is a very unique one called the Keystone. It uses QR codes instead of cables or Bluetooth and has a fairly large touchscreen. It's a really cool device and reminds me of an iPod Touch from back in the day, if you remember that. For usability, it's extremely easy to set up and navigate around thanks to the touchscreen, so this gets a 5 out of 5. For compatibility, Keystone is one of 4 MetaMask official hardware wallets and are the first and only wallet compatible with MetaMask Mobile. As you can see, I have my MetaMask account with my hardware-backed wallet, and you can't do that with any other one. So if you're a big time mobile user, especially for MetaMask, this is literally your only option. Another fun feature is the Keystone can display your NFTs on its lock screen, which doesn't add functionality, but definitely adds style points. It supports most of the other blockchains like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, and of course ETH-based blockchains via MetaMask, but is also missing some others like Cosmos and Cardano. So I'm giving this a 4.5 out of 5 for compatibility. The price tag is a little higher for this one at $120, which is $40 or 50% more than the first two, so it gets a 4 out of 5 stars. There is a very slightly upgraded version, which is actually the one that I have here, for $180 that just has a fingerprint scanner on the back, as well as an extra battery pack. So in my opinion, it's not really worth it. Anyway, overall an awesome device, especially for mobile users. Let's move on to the next one. Last but not least, we have the Ledger Nano X, basically the upgraded version of the Nano S Plus, which was the first on this list. So there will be many similarities. This is personally my go-to hardware wallet. I do use the other ones, but this is the one I do my main crypto degen activities on. Again, this was created by the largest manufacturer of hardware wallets in the world as the Cadillac, or basically the top of the line model. For usability, the setup is a little complicated, especially when you have to type things into the device. Again, there's only 2 buttons, but check out that setup guide up here and down below if you need help. But once it's set up, it's pretty easy to use. With its Bluetooth capability, it also works on the computer as well as any smartphone, Apple or Android, which makes it a little more user-friendly and also adds to its compatibility, which we'll talk about in a sec. So I'll give usability a 4.5 out of 5 stars. For compatibility, again, all the Ledger devices work with the same blockchains and software wallets. So they basically work with all the biggest ones and support the most amount of any hardware wallet out there. And just like I mentioned with Bluetooth, it supports the mobile apps for a ton of popular wallets. And the only one they're missing is MetaMask Mobile, which I can confirm they are working on, so it should be released in a few months. So for the X, I'm giving compatibility a 5.5 out of 5 stars. I should have made a bigger scale. Now for price, the X is the most expensive at $150, which is fairly high, but with all the functionality you get, it can absolutely be your one and only hardware wallet you'll ever need to buy. And if the price tag really breaks the bank for you, just get the S Plus for $80 and you'll get most of the functionality you need. So price gets a 4 out of 5 stars. This is my favorite hardware wallet overall, and in my humble opinion is the best, but there are reasons why you might want to use the others. So that's it. Those are all the best hardware wallets on the market right now. There are a ton of other options, but a lot of them are for more niche uses and aren't as user-friendly, widely compatible, or affordable as the ones that we covered. So with any of these, they can be your one and only hardware wallet you'll ever have to buy, especially the Ledger Nano X. So let me know if you have any other questions or thoughts. I'd love to hear if you agree or disagree with my scores and if you do anything differently. I'd also appreciate you leaving a like and might as well subscribe while you're down there too. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to grab your free crypto, stocks, and money with the links down below, and have an awesome rest of your day. I'll catch you in the next one. Take it easy.